Lockdown, and today I have another review for you. This time it's for stampers again. So before I get into that, I'm just going to say, as usual with my reviews, there is a blog post, which hopefully will show up somewhere down here where I'm pointing, that will be available, that's linked up to this, and it has more information, measurements, and static swatches of the stampers primed and unprimed. So feel free to check that out. Like I said, I'm going to put the link below here, and it will also be in the info box below. So let's get started. So this company that made these stampers is called GPStamping, and it's run by Guillermo Gaucha. He is Argentinian, so the stampers are from Argentina, and they are an alternative to the Creative Shop stamper. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later, but not only do you have the I think what we're used to is this traditional opaque, and then he offers more colors, which I think is the exciting part, right? And those are the black, green, the neon colorways in red, yellow, and the pink. And they're pretty awesome. A kit by itself would include the stamper, the head, and a stamping card with his information on it. And when you get the heads, they come backups, right? They come in just a little sealed off container, and inside contains or plastic sleeve, and then inside you have your heads. So initially I bought the just the first colorways he came out with, which were the green, the black, and the clear. And then right after that he released the neon colorways, which are actually quite a bit softer and I believe a little bit more Marshmallow 2.0-y than the original colorways. I decided to get the neon colorways, and then I thought I should just review them all together so that I don't have to go back and review the neon colorways separately. So I held off on doing this review until I had them all. So I'm going to start by saying that these, while they are similar to the Creative Shop stampers, the thing that I love about these compared to the Creative Shop stamper is that they're domed. The Creative Shop stamper, I don't know if you guys realize this, is very flat-headed, and I'll show you in a moment when I start doing the comparisons. But these are actually domed. They're a little bit wider, which is awesome because it means they fit even more of your nail. And then clearly you get all the different colorways. The shot glass that they come in, and this is a shot glass, by the way, it's a 1 ounce stainless steel shot glass, is pretty much the same. So honestly, you know, the Creative Shop stamper isn't that original because all these parts you can buy pretty much anywhere. And I think for those who are update with the stampers that are out on the market, you know that Moyu London has come out with a similar one themselves, but they've engraved the bottom of their stamper with their logo on it, and I'm going to have a review of that stamper shortly as well. But I remember the first person who actually did that, though I don't have the stampers, is Fab Your Nails, which I thought was really brilliant of her to engrave her name on the bottom of her stampers. So Moyu London has followed suit, but the point being that these are just generic shot glass stampers. But what I really love the most about these is the fact that they are domed, because that flat head on the CS stamper is one of the reasons why you get so many bald patches on a stamp that picks up the image of the Creative Shop stamper. I don't know if my followers know this, several of my stamping friends know, I do not like the Creative Shop stamper, mainly because of the reason that, one, it's finicky about which polishes it will work with, and then two, it leaves those bald patches, like little gaps in the stamper when you pick up the stamper. And what that actually is, it's a function of the fact that the head is flat and that air bubbles get trapped between the plate and the polish and the head. So when the head sticks to the plate, then you end up with bubbles that burst and remove the pattern from the stamper. So it drives me crazy because the photos that I take of my nail art is macro photography, and so all of those little flaws show, and I hate that. So that's why I'm not so much a fan of the Creative Shop stamper. But I'm liking these, not as much as a couple of other ones that I'm going to be showing you guys through the rest of these this next month or so, but I like these quite a bit, especially the neon ones. They are so much softer than the Creative Shop as well. Like, look at that give. great. I'm going to compare that for you guys later. What are the negatives? That the stampers, they're the 2.0 marshmallow that I was talking about, and I think a little less. I'm going to show you guys the paper test as well, so you can see whether or not they pick up a piece of paper. That's how I qualify whether or not a stamper is actually a marshmallow stamper. I mean, I can tell from touching it, but let's say you don't have the experience that I have, you can use this test to also tell you whether or not the stamper you're dealing with is a marshmallow-ish or not. These are more like the AliExpress ones that I reviewed, the jelly, soft, candy, whatever you want to call them, stampers. They're that like 2.0, and honestly, the neons are the more 2.0. The original colorways are less. They actually have more of the firmness of the Creative Shop stamper. Like, see what I mean? In terms of give, if you look, the neon ones give a heck of a lot more than the original colorway. So that's a little bit the con. And then of course, just dealing with like international shipping and stuff is always a little bit of a hassle, but I think worth it. So with that said, these are unprimed, and as I said before, if I take you through just showing you the squishy factor, you see that let me try and actually group them together a little bit so you guys can have that difference more apparent. The original colorways are a little less, they have a little less give, okay? They're a lot more firm. By the way, these are all unprimed. Than the neon colorways, which are just very soft and very malleable compared. See, they're very soft and squishy. Try to show. My nails are god-awful short right now because they just broke, but see my finger going into the stamper really well. I think you would see that better if I actually put it into the holder and then turn my nail so it's at an angle. Sorry, trying to figure out how best I can show you. Yep, there we go. So nice and squish. I do not get that same squish with the CS, but I'll show you. Whoops, I didn't put the head all the way in. I'll show you that in a moment. But yeah, so that's the neon colorway, and all of those are like that. And then let me just compare it to the standard colorway. See, there's a lot less give. I'm actually less of a fan of these. They're still give, but they're just more firm than the neons, and I think in a bad way. As your nails get longer, it's going to be harder to push in. They're not sticky at all. These are all in prime, though. I forgot to show that. No stick, but tons of squish in these neon ones. So let me get the Creative Shop stamper, and then we'll do the comparison. Okay, so here's my GP stamper. I put the opaque head in because I want to compare it to the Creative Shop stamper, and I don't want to confuse you guys, but it just made most sense to compare like to like. So here's my Creative Shop stamper. It's a little, I've been using it, so it's obviously has a little user wear and tear on it, but here it is. And you can see that first thing that I was talking about, which is how the head of the Creative Shop stamper is very flat, and the GP stamping company stamper is domed or rounded out, which I think helps tremendously. You see again the side by, let's take it out of the head, or out of the holder. Sorry. And I'm going to compare, it's really unfair to compare the Creative Shop to the neon colorways because they're just way softer. They're way softer. I'm still going to do that anyway later, but the original colorway of the GP stamper to the CS stamper is what I'm going to do. And see how the GP stamper is a bit bigger if I line them up. Sorry, that was just like the worst lining up job ever. The GP stamper, well, I guess they're actually kind of the same size, or maybe, yeah, they're kind of the same size, but the head, because the head is domed, the surface area of the head is a lot larger for the GP stamper. And then if you squish, this is Creative Shop on the left, GP on the right. About the same level of give in the original colorway, which is not that great. They're still a little bit softer, but not by that much. And I'll show you across the original colorway. The green has definitely more give, even though that's the original colorway, and the black even more give than the original CS. And then of course the neon ones are gonna be tremendously different, right? Because they're just, it's a different consistency altogether. They're softer, and Guillermo designed them on purpose that way to be softer after getting feedback from some of his customers, and I think that was very smart to listen and then change them according to what our desires are. GP Stamping is actually very good about that. It's one of the things that impressed me so much with the company that made me want to buy. So again, you just see they're a different stamper altogether. If I were to compare this to the AliExpress, I'm gonna put the neons back. The AliExpress, I don't know if you guys remember this, the Jelly Soft, in that same kind of colorway. Did you see my finger stick to that? This is a true Marshmallow 2.0. This has been primed though, so I don't want you to think, but you hear it. It sticks to my finger. This does not do that. Not even this one has a bit more. The neon ones have a bit more. I'm going to do that paper test in a moment. I'll do it primed and unprimed, but same consistency for the original colorway. Again, the original colorways are the non-neons, so about the same, and the clear is a little more sticky. Compared to a true Marshmallow, this is my old Winstonia store, which I still adore. And you can see that obviously these are not going to be the same. This is a true Marshmallow, Ultimate Marshmallow, so there's no way that they're going to be similar. But you know, for comparison's sake, I like to show you. See, it does have the same level of give, the neon ones though, which I like a lot. But then you get that larger size, and I just love that. I really do. So I forgot to do it, but the give of the Creative Shop stamper and that flat head. This is Creative, again, this is Creative Shop, which in my opinion really doesn't have the level of give and then so I have my piece of paper. It's actually one of the papers that I use for my videos, when I do my videos, my tutorials for nail art. But hey, multitasking. So this, I'm just using one of the original colorways, and this is just regular printer, regular paper, and unprimed, and I'm gonna see if it picks up, and you guys can watch. So you see the paper, it doesn't pick up the paper. I know that Guillermo has videos up on his YouTube where he did a test on plastic and had the head pick up, and of course it picked up. But the reason why a silicone, you should never test whether a marshmallow stamper, a silicone pad is a marshmallow stamper or not with plastic, is because they're both similar substances, and like tends to attract like. So of course if you put it on plastic, it's gonna pick it up. That's just a function of them this being similar. So again, this is unprimed. You see it's not picking up very much, or it picks up lightly. Basically, it's not a marshmallow. So that's the original colorway, and then here is the one of the neons, again unprimed. And I apologize. So you see, picks up the paper a little bit better than, but not really. It really doesn't pick it up. So neither one of these are marshmallow. Let me show you, just so you don't doubt me. This is my Winstonia, the one that sticks to my finger. What a true marshmallow should do with paper. I can shake it and it still doesn't knock it off. See what I mean? So That's okay, so I've primed the stampers now. Again, this is the original colorway, the green one, and I'm just going to do the paper test to see if it's gotten a little bit more marshmallowy. And the answer is not really. This one is probably pretty much the same. And then I will show you the neon colorway, which I actually do think got a lot more marshmallowy, or rather it became more marshmallow-ish than it was. By the way, these feel like the neon colorway feel like gelatin. So see my fingers sticking now? Now it's like a real marshmallow. So paper. Oh! So you see it's not quite as strong as the Winstonia store. I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit for you guys. It's not as strong as the Winstonia store one. But as you can see, it does pick up. So not bad at all, right? So now that I've shown you this, I'm just going to bring them all back in and talk about my final thoughts, a little bit about these stampers, and then I'll leave it there. Okay, so I'm back. I have done my swatches, and like I said, you can check those out on the blog. Final thoughts on these stampers. Honestly, I will say they require a lot of priming to get them to pick up. One thing I noticed when I was doing my static swatches is that the original colorway, sorry, I'm going to switch these up a little bit while I'm talking, are not as giveable and actually do require a very vigorous priming. The neon ones, which are a little softer, require less priming, but also do need to be primed in order to pick up. None of them would pick up if you look at the swatches at all when they weren't primed. They just look terrible. So, and then the other thing I noticed, which is a huge pet peeve of mine with the CS stamper, is that these also cause air bubbles. So you're left with little gaps in your stamps, but to a lesser degree than the CS stamper. And you still do have to roll to mitigate that, because if you don't roll, you're going to have even worse air bubbles, which is going to result in even bigger holes in your stamping pattern. I took the liberty of showing a swatch on a marshmallow stamper from the AliExpress jelly sauce stampers to give you an idea of a stamper that has extremely good quality pickup, how it looks compared to these stampers, and then you'll see what I mean by the air bubbles. But still, I like these stampers. They're definitely, if you want a bigger stamper, these are definitely, and you want the colorways, this is definitely a better bet than the CS stamper, and they're also a lot cheaper. The dome head does result in less bubbles overall. These are cheaper, even with the holder, the card, and a head. It's $7, I think, $6 or $7, and that is half the price of a CS stamper, even if you add in international shipping. And probably if you go in with your buddies or just fellow people, or you order a whole set or many items, I'm sure that Guillermo, you could possibly get an even bigger discount than that. So they would be a lot cheaper. I think the CS stamper, the cheapest I've ever seen it these days, is $10 from Uber Chick Beauty. And that comes with like a bling set, I think. So this is definitely a big improvement on the original concept. I would honestly, having now tried all of them, I would definitely just default automatically to the neon colorway. They're a lot softer and squishier, and I just think a better performing stamper than the originals. I do like the black though a lot. So probably these are my 4 favorite. Of course, anything neon I love anyway, but in terms of pickup and just give, these are the clear winners. I'm still not 100% pleased with these, because you do still get holes. I have another set of stamping pads that I'm going to be reviewing for you guys shortly that has immaculate pickup, is even softer. They're actually true marshmallows and they're phenomenal. But I think these are a good alternative if you want a squishy firm. I really, at this point, thinking about it now, I would not even qualify these as my Marshmallow 2.0 because they're really not very sticky. And you could see from the paper test that they don't pick it up compared to the Marshmallow Stamper. So they really aren't the classic Marshmallow Stamper. And then another word of warning I want to give to you guys is careful with the black stamper. So if you get the black head, just be aware because of the dye, or I don't really know what they use to color these heads, but it bleeds into lighter color heads. So before I had primed, I think it was the green one actually, before I primed it, these two were sitting next to each other and out of the package because I just had them all in one little bag, and this one ended up, the black stamper ended up rubbing off a bunch of black onto the green head, which was just ugly. I mean, like, obviously it doesn't affect the function, but I didn't like it very much. So when I primed it, I was able to take it all off. But just be aware, if you're going to have that, then just store it. If you're going to purchase this colorway, then just store it away from your other colored stampers because the colors will bleed, and then you'll be a sad puppy if you can't get it out. I was really lucky that I was able to get it out, so that made me happy. Again, I really like these stampers. I would stick with the neon colorway if you're going to do it. They're not the best. I like them. They're not the best, but they're an excellent alternative. I definitely favor them over the CS stamper. And if you want more information, again, about the measurements, check out the swatches. Of course, I put the seller link in the info box, but all of that information is also going to be attached to the blog post. So go ahead and check that out, and please leave comments below if you like this video, if you have other questions that you want to know about. And thanks for watching. So I guess I will see you guys next time. Please give me a big thumbs up if you like this or you found it useful, and don't forget to subscribe. All right, see you guys next time. Bye.